As long as I've known Urban Nature Gal, she's talked about her home country of Chile. So I decided to go there and see it for myself. Let's go! There are 4 things you need to survive.
I don't like the dap. I don't like the dap.
The deadliest plants on the planet, so always be very careful. We gotta get this thing done. This stuff in a disaster situation is a lifesaver. You don't have to leave the city to connect with Mother Nature.
I love it, I love it, I love it!
Chile is a land of incredible diversity. The driest desert in the world runs alongside the ocean through Chile, just hours from where waterfalls flow next to main highways. Sandwiched between the Pacific Ocean and the Andes Mountains are temperate rainforests, incredible seaside bluffs, and lush vegetation growing on the slopes of live volcanoes. My trip began in the metropolis of Santiago. About 70% of Chile is Catholic, and the city is littered with religious icons. My first hike took me to Carolina's favorite, San Cristobal. Rising over 1,000 feet above the rest of the city, a giant statue of the Virgin Mary greets those willing to make the roughly hour-long hike to the top. I met some familiar friends on the trail, plants I recognized from California: agave, stinging nettle, prickly pear cactus, and the deadly hemlock, which can be identified by a pungent wet dog smell. Then I came across a new plant on these slopes. The little fruits and the leaves looked familiar, so I tried the poison test, touching the fruit to my mouth without swallowing. The flavor was familiar too. It tastes like a wild plum. I headed back into the city on a mission to solve the mystery behind this little fruit. ¿Saben qué es esto, fruta?
Ciruela.
¿Ciruela?
Ciruela.
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 Ruela. Ciruela. Dice plum en español. It is a plum.
Cuando son verdes con sal, son ricas.
Oh, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Con sal.
verde, los untan sal.
So when they're still green, you can eat them with salt and they're delicious.
Sirve para la digestión igual. Para la digestión sirven.
Para...
Tránsito lento, sirven.
What?
Sirven bastante. Digestivo. Sí, sí, sirven. Sí.
Yeah, I have no idea what she's saying.
Ciruelas.
Ah, soy un gringo. Muchísimas gracias. Turns out I could have saved myself much embarrassment. Carolina's mom knew what they were all along.
I was 6 years old, and I used to live in a house called, in a neighborhood called Carrascal. And I had many, many fruit trees, and this one was one of my favorites because I used to get in a chair, go on top of it, and eat them with salt. Try it.
Just bite into it?
Let's bite into it. Next time we got the salt. Oops, sorry.
juicy,
Look,
so
there's
that
going to be
one's
another tree coming out of there.
Wow, they're really good. They
Very-
have that little tartness.
Very juicy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like so much. Yeah.
Do you know, is this a different variety or is it just more ripe?
Honestly, that one, I don't have much knowledge about it, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the same family, but a different
variety?
different variety.
That makes sense because you're getting the same amount of sun, but this is green and that's
Yes, absolutely.
more red. And this,
Right behind you is
oh,
more. No? Bitter?
tart.
Sweet?
Tart.
Oh.
Not ripe yet. Yeah, they are two different kinds because this is all red, but it's not
Exactly.
anywhere near ripe
See,
yet.
this one is green, but it's still
Yeah.
sweetness in it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
These little plums only piqued my appetite. Time for some real food.
¿Para qué?
Comer empanadas y comida chilena. Pastel de choclo, cazuela.
The nearest crosswalk was over a mile away, forcing us to jaywalk a 4-lane highway. Cars zoomed by us at 55 miles an hour. Frogger, anyone? Empanadas, barbecue, fried fish, seafood stew. The selection was overwhelming. Luckily, Carolina's dad, Jose, is a local and found us the perfect place. The smell of the freshly baked pan amasado, paired with Chilean pebre, a kind of salsa, made my mouth water. Okay, it comes out really fresh, with the tomato and the onion, and then you get kind of, the spice starts to hit you, and then you get a nice smoky, spicy finish. It's delicious. These are a lot bigger than I thought they were. So I have a feeling we would have lunch tomorrow. It's okay. These empanadas are the bomb. Enter ensalada chilena. Tomatoes, fresh onions, parsley, lightly drizzled with oil and salt. Sometimes simple is the best. Elena also let me try her pastel de choclo. I noticed that in Chile, most of the ingredients are organic and extremely fresh, not out of any green movement, but because that's how they've always done it. It's really good.
¿Cómo se llama?
Cazuela de vacuno.
Some mushrooms for the flavor, and I see there's a little olive in there that I'm looking forward to eating. It's really nice. And the breading is really crisp. It's delicious. We jammed as much as we could into our first outing here in Chile, and ended it with a delicious meal of traditional Chilean fare. I can't wait for the next adventure. We're traveling south to Pucón that just happens to sit in the shadow of a volcano. I think this is a lava flow. The volcano we're hiking on right now has erupted 4 times in the last 100 years. We're getting closer to the vent, so it's getting hotter. Leaning over this one vent looking in, and it's still smoking. I guess that's why they call this place House of the Devil. Holy cow.